I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me, hold your hand while the pain was over, keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
So my hope for this video is that it will be helpful for those of you who are maybe looking for some new training playlists. Some of these are classics and are more popular, and others are less well known. This was super fun for me because a lot of these I actually hadn't done all the way through, or I hadn't done them in a while. Also, there really isn't any particular order to these. They're all really helpful, and my goal with this was really to just have a ton of variety. I'm not saying these are categorically the best. They're just really good. Also, I know there are tons of playlists out there that probably should have made it on this list, so be sure to let us know if you have any. And if you're going to do that, make sure to put the code in there as well in the comment. So I'll try to pin as many of those comments as I can. Also, if you're interested in trying any of these, I've got the entire list in the description with all of the codes so that you can check them out. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get into the list. Number 10, Strength and Accuracy by Vince. This is probably the best playlist you could pick for warming up, whether you're going to play ranked or unranked. Now, it may seem overly simple when you first start doing it, but it actually really works for warming up your shooting mechanics. So the first few are very simple, just some short air roll shots that help you out with precision, but by the time you get halfway through it with some of the mid-range shots and some of the longer shots, they're actually really tough to pull off. At the end, you'll have some pretty long shots that you can do whatever with, whether you want to work on air dribbles or double touches. Again, this is just a great warm-up playlist, and it's really good if you're just wanting to warm up those important mechanics for car control. So yeah, make sure to check this one out. Number 9, Air and Wall Dribbles by Jay Robinson. Jay Robinson is one of my earliest subscribers, and at that time, this playlist was still one of the most popular ones available, and he decided to change the name to FLuuMP to help me get recognition. If you're new to this mechanic and you're wanting to get the hang of it, start out using the first few shots in this playlist and stay at them until you've pretty much conquered them. And once you've gotten the hang of it, you can then move on to the middle shots, where you'll be more challenged because the shots are a lot further away and there's some different angles, and obviously there's more distance in trying to air dribble it further. And the best will be when you can get to the end and really get good at air dribbling from the ground or from the corners. Those are the more challenging ones. Be careful though, you can easily get stuck in this playlist and waste like 2 days of your life. Number 8, Awkward Shooties by Marky Doodah. So now that you've worked on the super hard aerials and redirects and air roll shots and air dribbles, it's time to throw away all of that and do some awkward shooties. This playlist is challenging, it's interesting, and honestly, it's pretty entertaining. You'll be kept on your toes from shot to shot since every one of them is so different and hard to figure out until you've tried each of the shots like multiple times. One of the hardest things to get from a training playlist is that gameplay feel, where it isn't just one situation over and over again and it's just predictable. The shots in this playlist are really the closest thing to creating that feel, to help you really be ready for those awkward situations that happen in game, compared to just doing the same thing over and over again. And if you get sick of this, don't worry. It's only 10 shots long, so you can easily switch back to one of the more specific mechanical playlists. Again, this is one of those playlists that's really good for warming up. And if you're frustrated with it because you're not making the shots and you just want to quit, that might tell you something. Maybe you need to work on the more basic elements of the game and forget like figuring out all the flashy stuff. I don't know, just one option. Number 7, All Kinds of Shots by Jaguar. So if you're sick of doing 8 to 15 shots of the same thing, then this is the playlist for you. These shots really cover everything that you could be looking for. That is, if you have time to do all 50 of them. And when the title says all kinds of shots, it really means all kinds of shots. You've got wall shots and ground shots, bank-ins, etc., etc. What's great about this playlist is that the shots aren't necessarily set up to be done in one way. There's tons of room for you to use your imagination and work on different elements of your game. If you're struggling in ranked, especially in those early games, I recommend forcing yourself to do all 50 shots and use that as a way to warm up. Don't redo any, just try to get through all of them and see if it helps you. A lot of times people struggle in ranked because they start out really bad, really just because they're not warmed up. And this playlist is really an awesome way to warm up. Number 6, Backboard Reads by Rizzo. If you're looking to take your game to the next level and you haven't really mastered the backboard clears, you need to try this playlist out. Most players know how to do a basic backboard clear, where you're already on the wall and you just kind of hit it. But what about the defensive shot where you aren't on the wall and you need to beat that offensive player to the ball? The first few shots in this playlist are super helpful for this kind of shot. These are those super awkward ones where if you play against a good offense, you're going to have these mastered because higher level players are up the second they see the ball flying at the backboard, and you as a defender need to learn how to do the same thing, even if it's a little more awkward from your position. And I'm speaking to myself here. I'm really only recently getting decent at this. Rizzo did a really good job of picking shot angles in this playlist that really make it effective. So this is a really good one, definitely check it out. Number 5, Squishy's Pinch Shot playlist. We all know that this shot has the potential to become part of the new meta for Rocket League. Something else that you can do is just go into any of the air dribble playlists where the ball is just sort of rolling up on the wall and work on pinch shots in that way. I don't feel like this would be a true top 10 playlist without a little Squishy Muffins in it, so I had to include it. Anyways, Squishy has taken the time to put together some different angles so that you can really work on these pinch shots, because you guys really want to make sure this is a part of your skill, because who knows, tomorrow you could wake up and this would be like the most important thing in the game. Oh, and while I'm at it, I should also mention that Squishy's backboard training is one of the best training playlists of all time. Probably more important than this one, honestly. So yeah, that's also a really good one. Number 4, Super Defense by Brian for President. If you guys have played a bunch of these playlists in training, you know the tricky ones to find are good goalie training packs. This is mainly because it's hard to create that sense of realism, like you're truly reacting to a shot on goal. Really well thought out and super helpful. The shots aren't too hard to save, they aren't too fast, but they really help you warm up because they're super realistic. This is probably the best goalie training playlist in my mind because it really helps you warm up your reflexes so that you're hopefully ready to react to those powerful shots when you're actually in a game. Number 3, the Dribble Flick Playground by Whey Protein. If you are a ones player and you're looking to get better at dribbling and ground play, then this is the playlist for you. Flicks are a really important part of any effective offense in ones. You really do need to be good at them. And it's not a skill that you just have. I used to think that I was good at flicks, until I really started paying close attention to players like AJ and Fairy Peak and Sunless Khan. Yeah, I'm really not that good at flicks. Anyone can go work on this in free play, and that's really important too. But it's more efficient in this playlist because you can easily just work on specific angles and different types of flicks. So on some of these shots, you have to pick the ball up going the opposite way and bring it back for sort of an angled flick compared to just a straight on flick shot where you're just trying to put it high. Also, towards the end, you get to start working on catching the ball from long distances and then carrying it closer to the net and flicking it. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in this one. It's definitely worth checking out. Number 2, Torment's Flip Reset Pack. So when you think of flip resets, you would probably think of maybe Squishy or Justin, or every single freestyler there is on YouTube. But actually, Torment is the secret master of flip resets. Well, actually, Torment is the master of flip reset playlists, I should say. I love this because even though it's not the typical setup for a flip reset, it really helps you ingrain in your head what it takes to get all 4 wheels on the ball consistently. Like if you've randomly tried a flip reset and you're just not consistent, like you randomly get one but then you don't, you need to try this playlist. Be warned though, it's kind of mesmerizing. Like you just can't stop doing it and you start to lose focus. It's weird. It's like hard to explain, but everything just kind of like blurs out after you try one of these like 100 times in a row. The first time I did it for like 45 minutes straight and I didn't even know. Alright, the last playlist we're going to cover is Mursa's Training Pack by Mursa. Who better to make a playlist for freestyling than the ballers over at Pulse Clan? This one was done by Pulse Mursa, and I first saw it on Pulse Fire's training montage. This playlist is endlessly playable because there are just so many options for every shot. And it's not just for those of you who want to learn how to be better at freestyling. Working on freestyling and just working on crazy shots in general is an amazing way to improve your game. Yes, there's definitely a place for just working on the simple, important mechanics. I've already talked about that. You can't deny that. But something happens when you try to do a shot that you otherwise would never pull off in an actual match. So let me explain this, because I actually do have a reason for putting a playlist like this at the #1 spot. And it has to do with my philosophy for training and warming up. For me, the best way to warm warm up is to try crazy shots over and over and over again. And actually, a lot of times it's just one crazy shot that I can't get down for some reason. And it could be in a playlist like this, for example. Maybe these shots are a little bit hard for some of you, and that's okay. Here's what I'm really getting at. When I push myself to try to pull off a specific shot, whether it's a flip reset or a redirect or a double touch, or like all of those things at the same time, it really warms up my mechanics, and it actually helps me on just those regular shots. Like when I go play after working on this kind of stuff, normal aerials and passes just feel so easy. And I feel like I can just play with so much more speed than normal. One time I was trying to get a crazy shot for a video, and I just kept doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And after like an hour and a half, my hands were like losing their coloring, and I finally got the shot down. And I honestly felt amazing, like I went and played a few games, and I was playing on another level. So this is something that's worth trying out. I know this might not work for everybody, but I found this to be really helpful, even though it is also kind of frustrating at times. Alright guys, I hope you liked this one. Make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Again, don't forget to let me know what you think. If there's some really good ones that I missed, I really want to know that. Like I want to know which ones they are. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.